Hello, in this video we're going to explore how to use spreadsheet importing in ZebraCut with a focus on the advanced features you may need to import your spreadsheets. So I have here a spreadsheet file, an XLSX from Microsoft Excel file, and I have a couple of folders which contain a number of different parts, some as Rhino 3DM files, some as PDFs, and some as DXFs. Just have a quick look at our spreadsheet file. Now, as you can see, this is a fairly complex spreadsheet. We've got a worksheet for terms, one for design, and we've got our cut list here. We've got images in the spreadsheet, we've got all the order information in here, and then we've got a table of our parts. So let's have a look and see how we can import this into ZebraCut. So in Zebra, I'm going to go to the Import tab. I'm going to choose the CSV importer, and then I'm going to select that spreadsheet file. Now we could do this with CSV, TSV, XLSX, XLS, and TXT. So any kind of spreadsheet format, right through to these complex XLSX files. Now, within Zebra, we have this spreadsheet viewer, which also allows you to edit. You've got full editing functionality in here. You don't need Microsoft Excel to use this. This is included within ZebraCut. And what we need to do is we need to set up ourselves a new configuration, which is going to import this spreadsheet. Particularly, we want to try and import this table here. And you'll notice we've got the product name, the product code, we've got the number required per machine, and you'll see from this invoice we're going to try and generate 6 machines worth of these parts. And then we have the quantity, and you'll see the quantity is actually a formula here, so 6 times 3 is 18. So you can actually build in some quite advanced functionality by reading spreadsheets themselves. Finally, in our table we have the material, so PVC or card for various parts. So let's try and build a config that will import this spreadsheet. So we'll just go config new, and then we will give it a name. So this is going to be advanced importer. You can also describe it further if you need to. And we're going to change out of simple mode into advanced mode. So here we go. We need to go through each of these sections and configure how we're going to import this file. So let's start off with the worksheet. So the worksheet name here is cut list. So we'll set this to be cut list. Also, you can change that if required, and you can also do it with a number. If you need to import the third worksheet every time, you can of course just enter 3, but much better to go with name, so we'll put cut list in there. Next we'll deal with the rows, and we need to try and locate our header row. Now the header row is the top of the table, kind of containing the column headers. Now that is on row 10, so we could just enter 10. Or if we have, a variable amount of stuff at the top of our worksheet, we could actually search through for the first line beginning with product, and that will search through all of the cells until we find a row starting with product. Now we need to set up our columns. So we've got 2 columns we need to fill in. The first one is the file name. Now we're going to actually use the product code rather than the product name to test with. If we look at our files, you'll see they have the product code S102, S101. These are contained within our file name, so we're going to match off the code. So we could enter 2 for our column number, or we could actually, since we've got a header in here, we can just enter code and it will find this cell here, which is the column header for the code column. And then for quantity, we're going to actually use this quantity column. Again, remember that is a calculated column. So we're going to enter quantity. Now again, we could just enter 4 if we need to, but that will help us find both the code and the quantity. Now once we know what file name we're searching for, we then need to find that file on the disk, and that's where the search area comes into play. So here we go, we need to first of all set what extensions we're going to use. Now we had one DXF, one 3DM, which is a Rhino file or a PDF, and also we can add further allowed extensions here if required. Anything that Rhino can import can be added into this list, so this is acceptable. Now we need to set up some folders, and I think we've got two folders that we need to search. So I'm going to go and look at what our folders are. One is for general files. I'll just copy that and I will just paste it in here. And then we need to find out the other one, which was for our triangles. There we go. So I'll just copy that. And we will just paste that in there. And now we can search both for general files and for triangles. We don't need to match file name case, and by default Zebra will look in the same location as where your spreadsheet is. We're going to turn that off for this example. Now in terms of matching these files, we have these codes S101, S102, but you'll have noticed that except for our triangles, the file names don't match that exactly. We have these kind of prefixes, fab underscore, and then we have a suffix. Now it would be ideal if the suffix was always the same, but that doesn't always happen. And you see some of the suffixes are approved, some of them are underscore ready. So we need to set up this configuration to support both of these. So we'll add a prefix, which is FAB underscore, and then we'll add a suffix, which is underscore approved, and we'll add another one for underscore ready. Now these are optional prefixes. They can be present, but they don't have to be present. So that's our extensions, our folders, our prefixes, suffixes, and whether we're searching locally set up. And I think that will do for our first test. So once we set up this configuration, we are going to save this configuration, and we're going to call it advanced import. And now we can go ahead and validate. And you'll see we have successfully matched these three different products. The quantity has been parsed correctly, and we've got the file that's been matched accordingly. Obviously, if I decided that there was, perhaps an error in this spreadsheet, then we will get validation errors in here, and obviously those can then be addressed. Put that back to 3. Now you might have noticed we've got this material column here, and actually today I only want to cut the PVC products. So I can go to my configuration, and I can go to filtering, and I can choose to filter on the material column, or indeed I could enter 5 for the 5th column. And I can put my filter value to be PVC, and again if you need to use, you can use regular expressions here, or the star character to match particular types of PVC, for example, but that should allow us to just match the first 2 products. So if I again validate that, you'll see we've again found all the files, but we have blocked on the material for the card, so the triangles will not be imported. Once I'm happy with my configuration, obviously I can save it. I could make this configuration just for PVC, for example, and I can obviously save it, and then I can go ahead and import. And you'll see I have all of my squares and I have all of my stars. So there you go, that's a quick introduction to the advanced features of ZebraCut's CSV or spreadsheet importer, and we look forward to helping you succeed with ZebraCut. Thank you very much.